So Josh Taylor just retained his belts against Jack Catterall in a crazy fight, 140 pounds, and it's probably going to be Josh Taylor's last fight in the weight division. But wow, what a 12 rounds! I don't agree with that decision whatsoever. I mean, one of the judges gave 114 to 111 for Josh Taylor, which we're going to be going round by round in this fight, and I just don't agree with that.
Yeah, I definitely see that as a robbery. Jack Catterall, he did enough. He was boxing amazingly, probably his best performance he's ever had, and they do him dirty like that, which is super unfortunate. But yeah, going round by round, that first round was pretty slow action. Nothing too much happening, just kind of downloading the data, going slow, kind of just looking for different patterns in the opponent's plan. And I would say maybe slight edge to Catterall in that first round. Not too much happening though. Some effective shots by him, but 10-9 Catterall probably first round.
Yeah, and it's important to keep in mind both these guys go coming into this fight undefeated. Jack Catterall 26-0 and Josh Taylor at 18-0, and Josh Taylor's last couple opponents have been like very good. So I mean it was a huge like discrepancy in the odds. I think Josh Taylor was like minus 2,000 at one point, which is just
Yeah, it was
crazy.
crazy.
It's crazy to think about. But yeah, that second round it was still going slow, but Catterall was just landing effective shots, and there was a lot of dirty boxing in just this fight overall. There was a lot of action in that second round, and it was kind of more of on Catterall, who was just finding cleaner shots and actually putting the pace on Taylor, which was something we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, and that third round was kind of more of the same as the second round. Cadro was moving pretty well there, and then he finished some exchanges pretty beautifully there, and he overall just had the edge as he was also mixing it up to the body. Unlike Taylor, who was kind of looking for some specific shots and didn't manage to land too much, and was coming in and kind of looking for also short shots. It wasn't a very effective round for him, so I definitely still edge that to Cadro.
Yeah, with Josh Taylor, he looked for a lot of short shots. All of his shots were like hooks and uppercuts, and they weren't really landing anything clean, which is why I see all those rounds kind of edging the Catterall, because he was kind of staying at a distance and finding the right shots, right hand after right hand over the guard. And I think that southpaw stance from Catterall was really important for him to get that. Well, not the win, but a really close decision there. And in my opinion, I think he won that fight. So, I mean, that fourth round, it was just more of the same. Some of these rounds, like they're kind of close, so you can maybe you could edge it to Taylor in some ways, but for now, like I think going into the fourth round, you can even have her 4-0 or maybe 3-1 to Catterall, as he was really just putting the pace on, and Taylor was really struggling to find his range in the fight. He was just coming in with short shots.
Yeah, in round five, you could just see Cadwell with just more success, and you could definitely see his confidence growing as the fight went on, and he kind of got more comfortable. Even though a lot of the fight he was on the back foot, he was still making effective use of being on the back foot, and was finding a lot of great straight shots. He was finding clean shots in that fifth, and was just continuing to have big success in this fight.
It was a great performance from Catterall, which no one really expected. I mean, just such a huge underdog and such a great performance from him. It's unfortunate that he didn't get the decision, but he was coming in so strong through 6 rounds, and there was a debate that he could be winning all 6 rounds, if not like 5-1 in most people's eyes. But apparently the judges saw it differently. Apparently they're scoring it to Josh Taylor, which is just a lot of these rounds. I guess you could say they're close, but to edge them to Josh Taylor, I don't see how that's gonna happen. I mean, it was good work from Josh Taylor as well. He was kind of putting on a little bit more of the pace as the fight went on. He was definitely doing more and making rounds a bit closer, but you could definitely see the Catterall was just having the edge throughout the fight.
And you could kind of see Catterall was maybe a bit slowing and looked like he was maybe a bit gassed. I don't think he was too tired, but maybe just a bit slowed down. And Taylor had a bit more success, nothing huge, of course. Just compared to some other rounds, it looked like he did better, had a bit more control of the ring, and found a couple shots that managed to have success with.
Yeah, and that 8 round for Jack Catterall was incredible. We saw him be able to successfully land a couple of straight shots that put Taylor down, and that was the first time he's ever been down in his entire career. And it was a beautiful combination of shots that he just strung together and landed straight on the temple. And Josh was hurt for a bit, but he managed to come back a little bit later on in the round and continue putting a pace on. But definitely a 10-8 round there for Jack Catterall, which really makes a great case as to why he won this fight, because I mean, he got a 10-8 round there, and I don't know, it's hard. This judging is a bit shady.
Yeah, and also the ref this entire fight was super weird. You see him take a point from both Josh Taylor and from Catterall during the fight, and it was just super odd. And pretty much out of nowhere. Like you never usually see refs getting this involved in fights, especially of this magnitude, and it was just all over the place.
Yeah, and throughout the fight, just the ref took a point from Catterall in the 10th round, which I mean, yeah, he was fighting dirty, but Josh was also fighting very dirty. It's not like either of these guys were clean, and they both ended up getting points deducted. But I don't know, the ref was really just trying to be the main character in this fight, which he just shouldn't have been getting him so involved.
Jack Catterall landed all the more punches, more power punches, and it was you could just see he was way more active during the whole entire fight. And just leading into the 11th round as well is just more pretty much more the same. I'm pretty sure Josh had a bit more success in that round actually.
And yeah, in that 11th round, Josh Taylor actually was the one who got a point taken away at the end of the round, which was really weird. Like they went to their stools and suddenly Josh Taylor had a point taken away, which
Yeah, it was so random.
yeah, it was pretty random, but apparently a little tiny pot shot. But yeah, I guess that 11th round is another 10-8 for Jack Catterall, which goes more to show as to why he definitely won this fight.
And in the last round, it was probably Josh Taylor's round. As you could see, Jack was kind of slowing down a bit from that full fight and was kind of gassed. And Josh had some decent moments, but at this point, it's way too late. The whole fight has already gone past you. He had to have done better than that and put on a statement. But Jack Catterall came to fight. And he came to win those belts, and in my opinion, he should have walked away out of that arena with all those belts. Great performance from Jack Catterall, and I guess we'll see what happens with Taylor if he moves up from here.
I definitely think that was Jack Catterall's fight to win. But I mean, a good effort from both guys. We saw the weight cut of Josh Taylor really take a toll on him, especially you saw the day before in the weigh-ins. He did not look good. He did not look healthy. At the end of the day, he was able to get the job done. I guess you could say he got the job done. But in my opinion, it was a robbery. But that's just sometimes how boxing goes. You can really never count on the scoring, especially when you're in someone's hometown, as Jack Catterall was literally in Josh Taylor's backyard. So and yeah, Josh Taylor gets the win by split decision.